How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Eric and this is my garage. Now in my garage I like to show you guys how to fix your own vehicles and show you guys some helpful tricks that can help you down the road. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to replace the shock absorbers on a 2002 Chevy Blazer. Now the process that's shown in this video is going to apply to different vehicles, so make sure to check the description for a list of all the vehicles that this will apply to. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Before we do anything on the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and first jack it up completely. I'm doing this because I'm going to be replacing all 4 shock absorbers on the vehicle. This is my buddy's vehicle and he decided to go with Gabriel shock absorbers. I'll go ahead and leave a link to these in the description so that you guys can check it out. With the vehicle supported by jack stands, we can go ahead and start removing the wheels. Once you remove your wheel out of the way, you're going to have access to your shock absorber, which is right here to the left hand side. Before we're able to remove it, there is some things in the way that we need to first remove. Start off by removing this 18mm fastener that you guys see right here. There is a 18mm nut on the other side that you need to hold while you remove this fastener. I'm using a 3/8 ratchet to hold one side of the fastener down, while I use an electric impact on the other side to remove the nut side of the fastener. Next, remove this 13mm fastener holding down these lines. Once you remove this fastener out of the way, you'll be able to wiggle these lines out. The reason you're doing this is because there's a bolt that goes through the middle part of the shock absorber, and you won't be able to get that bolt out unless you wiggle these lines out of the way. So you have to remove this fastener. This is an 18mm fastener. Go ahead and get a ratchet on one side and go ahead and get a breaker bar on the other side to go ahead and remove this fastener. Use a flathead screwdriver to help you pry the fastener that holds the shock absorber onto this bracket. With everything out of the way, now we should be able to remove the shock absorber. So go ahead and first remove this fastener that we didn't remove all the way, and wiggle the shock absorber out. This is a side-by-side comparison between these 2 shock absorbers. On the right is the old and on the left is the new replacement. Install your replacement shock absorber by doing the opposite of what we did to remove it. If you're having a hard time lining up the bushing with the bracket, use a flathead and a small hammer to hammer it into place. Install your fastener back on along with your nut. Don't forget to also do the same thing on the top and install the fastener. You also want to make sure that you fasten down the lines with the fastener that you removed. This is pretty much how you do the front. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the rear and replace the rear shock absorbers on the vehicle. Now you actually don't need to remove your wheels on the rear. You can actually just go right underneath. To remove the rear shock absorbers, you need to remove this fastener that you see right here, and 2 more fasteners that hold the top part of the shock absorber to the frame of the vehicle. But before we do anything, we first need to jack up the rear suspension. The only reason we're doing this is because I find it easier to remove the shock absorbers I'm using a piece of wood and my jack to support the suspension while we remove the shock absorbers. I'm using my impact wrench to remove these fasteners because they were kind of rusted. So I would recommend for you guys to maybe spray them down with some WD-40 or some type of penetrant. But as you guys can see, I am using two extensions because it's kind of deep into the frame. You also want to make sure that you have some safety glasses on because there is a lot of dust underneath. Go ahead and remove the last bolt right here that connects the shock absorber to this bracket. I'm using an adjustable wrench to hold one side of the fastener, and I'm using a 21mm socket to remove it. Install the nut back on and hammer the fastener out. On the left hand side we have the old shock absorber, on the right hand side is the replacement. As you guys can tell, they're identical. Go ahead and install your replacement shock absorber back onto the vehicle. As you guys can tell, I left the cable attached to the shock absorber body. The reason I did this is because if you cut it, the shock absorber is going to expand and it's not going to be as easy to install it. For now, what we're going to do is attach our fastener and secure the lower part of the shock absorber to the bracket right here. So we're going to put our washer and our nut back on. Go ahead and cut the cable on the shock absorber body. While you do this, the shock absorber is going to expand. So you want to just make sure that you guide the shock absorber mounting holes to the frame of the vehicle. Go ahead and install your fasteners back on. This is going to wrap up the end of the video. I hope you guys found it helpful, and if you guys did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Also, I wanted to give you guys a special shout out because recently I reached 5,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Isn't that awesome? I remember when I first started my channel, I only had like 1 subscriber, but now I'm at 5,000 and I want to keep continuing to grow, and I'm grateful for all the support that I'm getting from you guys. But with that being said, I hope you guys did like this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out.